Intramural sports at OSU bring out the passionate spirits of retired athletes everywhere, giving students like me the chance to get back in the game. Now that first touchdown you had, how much trust do you have to have in Sperry there as he throws that ball and you just know, it's hitting your back shoulder towards the end zone? What's going through your mind and what kind of trust do you have in your quarterback? Welcome back to the Daily O and welcome into the Sports Corner. I'm Tessa Dorrell. Thanks for being on board with us. Cowboy baseball was back in O'Brate last night for a midweek series against Winthrop. Logan Cole shows us how the Pokes had to battle the wind and Winthrop. One thing this year, and of course you being from Connecticut, I'm sure it's been hot to you, but definitely. Being from Oklahoma, it's definitely been hot up to this point. So I'm kind of excited to see it cool off and get into that fall vibe for football season. We haven't had it yet, especially for a home game.
Especially as we get into playoff football here for high schools, at least in Oklahoma.
Yep.
I know it's a big thing for you.
Oh yeah, big thing in my house. And of course last night covering Jones High School football, I'm ready for football weather. Now you also have a family member here on the team. You got your cousin. Is there any sort of friendly rivalry you got going on, because you both produce a lot of numbers for the Eagles? Yeah. There might not have been a cloud in the sky, but the perfect storm was brewing inside Gallagher-Iba Arena last night. Oklahoma State men's basketball shocked the college hoop scene, taking down 9th-ranked Iowa State. Most student organizations keep their work in Stillwater, but Cowboy Rocket Works takes its work to the pastures of Argonia, Kansas. Cowboy Rocketry brings engineers together to advance in aerospace exploration. Through brainstorming, designing, and building, the Cowboy Rocketry team allows students to get certifications to propel their own futures. Students receive certifications for different levels of rocket building, starting with their level 1 rocket, like this one. The L1 launch entails designing, launching, and recovering a rocket.
So you build your rocket from a kit. You don't have to do as much as the L2 and 3 kits.
Next is level 2. A certification test is required for an L2 launch. The L2 rocket has a larger motor and uses an electronic device for the recovery system. Level 3 is the highest for certifications. An L3 launch requires 2 technical advisory panel members to oversee your rocket design, construction, and launch. The L3 rocket has the largest motor for a certification rocket.
That's kind of where you I guess, fall in love with rocketry, is whenever you actually get to see your rocket.
You can join the Cowboy Rocketry team for their next meeting on November 30th, where officer elections will take place. From the Rocket Pasture, Tessa Dorrell, Ocali TV. I don't necessarily think that giving up touchdown there to Midwest City is the worst thing in the world. I think when you have that one safety back, you're going to struggle in the secondary, especially expecting a run-heavy game from Midwest City. I think they've definitely shocked the Eagles and even us. We didn't expect them to have a throw game here this time around, so I think that's something that's going to be talked about, and I think that maybe is something that needs to be worked on. And then, as I said before, the fight in a lot of high school games is there in the trenches, and I don't know if maybe it was being tired, if it was a game start situation, but I think they flipped in quite a few kids there in the offensive line, and we just saw that happen. There was a holding, he's out, he's gone, he's out of the game. So I think there's going to have to be a tougher fight and a more disciplined fight within the trenches for the Eagles. On the other diamond, Oklahoma State softball is warming up down south. The Cowgirls face off against the Mean Green of North Texas for their final game before Big 12 play.
Got it.
All right, I'm down here on the field with Coach Jones at Del City High School. So, Coach Jones, just, going into the bye week, what's something from this game you're going to want to work on and focus on for your team? Now, offensively, you guys produced very well, 53 points there, and 2 rushing touchdowns from Rodney Fields. What does a player like that bring to your team offensively, but then also off the field? Cowboy baseball is back in action for a midweek game down in Cleburne, Texas. Tonight, the Pokes take on the Abilene Christian Wildcats. OSU coming off a 2-game sweep of UT Arlington, scoring a combined 29 runs in the 2 contests. While all these awards are an honor for the Cowgirls, for Coach J.C. Hoyt, some lack of recognition could be used for extra motivation.
Fans, I'm out here for a game that all you Dodger fans know and love. It's time for a Dizzy Bat race. I got Kaylin in the blue and Joshua in the red. Are you guys ready?
Gundy says each quarterback has been able to learn from one another, but is ready for the game to gather more insight on each player's gameplay. Reporting for the Ocali, I'm Tessa Dorrell.
What's up, Dodger fans? It's Tess. I'm down here with everybody's favorite mascot, Bricks, and the Oklahoma City Blue Crew. We are so glad that you decided to join us on this Saturday night at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark for Game 5 against the El Paso Chihuahuas, the AAA affiliate of the San Diego Padres.
Down tonight, you're leading the offense for the Eagles and a lot of different statistics. How's it feel coming into this program to already be at such a high point? Now, going into this bye week, it's a time to work on some things. You personally, what do you want to improve? I'm looking at the trenches. That's where I see a lot of the fight here in these high school games. And it seems as though maybe some of the tackles are losing some contact on these tougher plays, on these closer plays, and when it's getting handed off to Warren, there's not always contact being made by those tackles. And Coach Jones just kind of reiterated that to the players over here. As a big man, your job is in the trenches. You're supposed to be getting contact on each of those runs. So I think that may be something that's going to be talked about at halftime and hopefully addressed, because even though it is 34-0, as an offensive lineman, you can't get complacent. Oklahoma State Cowgirls are coming off their second win this season against the Texas Tech Lady Raiders, yet this time in Lubbock. Excited about the players' commitment to the program. However, he is unsure of the game due to the number of players on the field who have yet to play with the Cowboy program.
Over here in between section 113 and 114, it's getting rowdy over here because we're going to have a game of volleyball.